Right, so Deiveson Figueiredo versus Cody Garbrandt is now cancelled. Cody Garbrandt had to pull out of the fight at UFC 255 with a bad bicep injury, so now Deiveson Figueiredo will be taking on short notice replacement, or not really short notice replacement, just a replacement of Alex Perez. On that date at UFC 255, Figueiredo versus Perez will be headlining a pay-per-view card at UFC 255 unless we make some changes and save this card somehow. First of all, Cody Garbrandt's out of the fight. I don't mind that Cody Garbrandt's out of the fight, but I just felt as though maybe Brandon Moreno had earned it way more than Alex Perez. Askar Askarov even could have earned it way more than Alex Perez. And I don't think this is anything to do with Brandon Moreno not being able to take the fight on such notice or anything like that, because Moreno versus Perez was booked for the same card. So I don't know why Moreno would not accept that if they offered it to him, so it makes me feel as though they haven't offered it to him, but they could have done. I'm not going to jump to conclusions here. Maybe they offered it to Brandon Moreno and for some bizarre reason he said no to a world title fight on the same card that he was already scheduled to fight on, knowing that if he said no, they would give it to the opponent he was fighting, who was also on the same card. I don't understand why we haven't had a reaction from Brandon Moreno yet, but I assume he's very annoyed if I am correct in my theory that maybe he did not get offered the fight. And I don't know why he would not get offered the fight, because he's literally an advantage over Alex Perez in every single way. Alex Perez has 12.6 thousand Instagram followers, I believe, and Brandon Moreno has over 40,000. Brandon Moreno's higher ranked at number 2. Alex Perez is number 4. Brandon Moreno's had a longer win streak, even if you count the win, which should have been a rightful win against Askar Askarov not too long ago. Brandon Moreno beat Manuel Perez outside of the UFC, got his shot back in there against the top contender Askar Askarov, won that fight in my opinion, but they called it a draw by split decision. I thought Brandon Moreno clearly won that fight. Moving on, he beats Kai Kara France, then he beats Hussier Formiga. I understand that Alex Perez has beaten the same Hussier Formiga, but you know, he beat Hussier Formiga after Brandon Moreno beat him. I don't understand why they would not give this shot to Brandon Moreno. It doesn't make too much sense to me. And also something that needs to be said is, after looking at the column here on latestMMAfighting.com, Cody Garbrandt said that Dana White's told him he'll be fighting the winner as soon as he gets back in there at UFC. I don't even know what UFC it's going to be, but in 2021, Cody Garbrandt's going to heal up. He asked for the fight to be postponed back to December. They said they're going to give him a title shot against the winner, so even then, Brandon Moreno is not going to get a title shot, even if he stays on the card in the headliner of the prelims and Askar Askarov fills in on short notice, which we'll talk about in a second, what's going to happen next here. Even if he stays on the card, he's still not going to get a title shot if he wins. If they rematch him and Askarov and he wins again, Garbrandt's still going to jump the queue ahead of him in 2021. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm very confused. And I need a statement from Brandon Moreno, because he's in shape to fight on the same card and he didn't pull out of his fight. So why would they give it to Alex Perez? It doesn't make much sense to me, but I'm glad that the fight has been changed. In my opinion, Cody Garbrandt did not earn a title shot of flyweight. In my honest opinion still, I think that Garbrandt should have to fight a top contender before he jumps the queue in 2021 for a title shot. Doesn't make too much sense to me. But this pay-per-view has taken a huge blow. UFC 255, it was looking good. Figueiredo Garbrandt was on the card. There were some other good fights on the card as well. I mean, Valentina Shevchenko versus Jennifer Maia. Not the best title fights in the world. I'm sure we can all agree on that. But still, it was looking like it was going to be somewhat of a stacked card. But now we're in jeopardy. We need help on this card at UFC 255. Because as much as I like Deiveson Figueiredo, and I like Alex Perez, those two names don't headline a pay-per-view that generates any kind of money whatsoever. So in my honest opinion, I think we should stack this one with our wild card title fight that has not yet been booked, that has time to be booked, and that we know is eventually going to happen anyway. This is where we activate Petr Yan versus Aljamain Sterling in the main event instead, and bump Figueiredo versus Perez down to the co-main event. Then in the feature fight, Valentina Shevchenko versus Jennifer Maia. Maybe what they're doing, and this is the only way, I don't even count this as like a nice thing for them to do, but maybe they want Moreno on the card in case, again, someone falls out of the title fight. I don't know why they would not give this to Moreno. It doesn't make any sense. But I'm assuming that maybe he'll still be on the card because his fight has not been cancelled. They would have announced the news right next to each other if his fight had been cancelled. His fight with Perez has been cancelled, but he didn't pull out of that fight. So is he going to stay on the same card, and is Askar Askarov going to get the short notice fill-in for Brandon Moreno, and we're going to get to see a rematch? Maybe. I just think it's a very bad move, and I don't want Garbrandt to jump the queue in 2021. I think he should probably come back and take on like a Joseph Benavidez. We'll see, but just don't give him a title shot. If Moreno's going to fight again, and you're going to take it away from him again. If Moreno wins one more fight, he's number 1 in the division. That's just how it works. If he beats Askar Askarov, he's number 1 in the division. I don't understand this. I'm really confused, but they've done it, and I think that's what we need to do with UFC 255. Piotr Jan versus Aljamain Sterling main event. This still isn't a great pay-per-view, but it's going to be stacked with some good names. Piotr Jan versus Aljamain Sterling main event. Figueiredo versus Perez as the co-main event. Shevchenko versus Maia as the feature fight. We've got Robbie Lawler versus Mike Perry also on that card. Shogun Rua versus Paul Craig too. It's not the best in the world, but maybe we can do something real nice with the prelims. I've fought out some of them already. Brandon Moreno versus Askar Askarov as the headliner of the prelims still. If anyone falls out of any of those fights, of the flyweight title fight on the card between Figueiredo and Perez, maybe Moreno can jump in there and get his shot, but I think they should do Moreno versus Askarov, headliner of the prelims. Co-main on the prelims, Kevin Holland versus anyone, in my opinion, he would do good against, so just put him against anyone, because any fight with Kevin Holland is going to be interesting. I'm talking Brad Tavares, Antonio Carlos Jr. Give him a little bit of a jump up the rankings. This sucks, man. This really hurts me, but it's okay. Anyone, Kevin Holland versus any middleweight coming off a win, or maybe even a welterweight coming off a win, who knows. Also on the card, Ariane Lipski versus Antonina Shevchenko is on the prelims. One more fight to open up the prelims of the pay-per-view, in my opinion, should be Mikel Pereira versus Alex Oliveira. That's a great matchup to make. Also, we've got Joban versus Gooden, Allen versus Delidze, and Dalkaus versus Stoltzfus. That's the whole card, and it's not going to sell great pay-per-views, but maybe we can save it with an extra title fight. Apparently, they're ringing Askar Askarov right now, and it's been ringing for a while, the phone. For some reason, he's just not answering. So it's unfortunate that we're just waiting on Askar Askarov to pick up the phone. It's been ringing for hours, and no sign of Askar Askarov answering the phone, so who knows what's happening on his end of things. But I don't understand the move. I feel like they've really messed over Brandon Moreno here. There's no way he's injured and not accepting that fight. He's booked on the same card. What, did they both get injured on the same day? Moreno and Garbrandt both got injured on the same day, and they gave it to Perez. I ain't buying it, man. I am not buying that Moreno would turn that down in any way whatsoever. That makes zero sense. All good though. Figueiredo versus Perez, I guess, is next, and Garbrandt's going to get the winner in 2021. I think he should come back and take on Joseph Benavidez, but you know what? The flyweight division, it needs help, man. The flyweight division is really tanking right now. I thought maybe Garbrandt, to find some kind of positive with him jumping the queue, moving down, would be that he's a big name. If Figueiredo beats him in the first round by KO definitively, he'll be a much bigger name because of beating Garbrandt. Maybe this could work in the meantime. Let's do Moreno versus Perez. Winner will get a title shot. It all seemed like it was going to go to plan until they gave it to the number 4 fucking guy in Perez instead of the number 2 with 3 times more Instagram followers. Way better wins. I don't understand, man. I don't understand. But okay, UFC, you've made another one of these decisions. But right now at flyweight, man, it's tough. We lost Cara France, but we got Royval. Maybe Royval can come into play here and accept it before Askar Askarov picks up the phone. Still ringing. Something's going on. But we'll see. We'll see. It's just a weird situation to be in. Don't know why they wouldn't just give it to Moreno. It seems a little bit unfair to me. But that's okay. And Cody Garbrandt, you know, he asked the UFC for an end of December fight, but they decided for a replacement, which is understandable, but you can't fight Destiny 2021, I'll be the world champ. I don't understand this. Okay, that's annoying me. Do Garbrandt versus Benavidez. Okay, alpha male versus the alpha male sellout that left the gym. Garbrandt. Imagine that. That's actually a weird thing, you know. No one ever thinks about that, but Cody Garbrandt for years bullied TJ Dillashaw for leaving the gym. As soon as he goes on a bit of a loss streak, he dips. Madness. But it's funny. It's funny. I like it, but it's just weird. Hopefully Figueiredo beats him. I think Figueiredo will beat Perez. I definitely do, because as much as I like Perez, and a lot of people are looking at his last win against Formiga and judging the entire fight based on that, I don't know. Perez has had some really lackluster performances. Against Jordan Espinosa, he had a good win, don't get me wrong, but then against Mark De La Rosa, taking him to a decision. You know, it's just, I like his wins. Maybe they're going with Alex Perez because he has a couple of finishes that they could try and sell the fight off of, because he did finish Jussier Formiga. Deiveson Figueiredo lost to Jussier Formiga, but Moreno beat Jussier Formiga. Maybe they're just looking at finishes only, and that's the only reason they've given him the shot. But I think Figueiredo will beat him, and I think that the winner of Moreno versus Askarov 2 should get the next title shot. And Garbrandt should fuck off, because of ruining the division. As soon as he gets the belt anyway, he's just going to dip. What did the UFC think is going on right now? They're literally helping Garbrandt destroy the flyweight division. He's not going to defend once he gets down there. Why would he defend? Garbrandt is not going to be thinking to himself, oh, I can't wait to take that flyweight belt so I can defend against the winner of Moreno Askarov. He's not going to think that at all. So why have they done this? Fucking UFC, yeah. First of all, you got fucking fighters sprouting tits. Now you got this kind of fucking decision-making skills. Fair play. Maybe we'll find out that Moreno's no longer on the card. Who knows? It's just stupid to me. It's so stupid. But you know what? It ain't a main event of a pay-per-view. They better find Yan and Aljo on that card right now and make it a free title fight pay-per-view, or there's going to be some issues. Or maybe they even put Volkanovski versus Zabit on there or something. I don't know what they do. I don't know what to do anymore. But these pay-per-views are getting... 253 is, don't get me wrong, good main and co-main event. But, you know, 253's card was a little bit downhill. And it seems as though we're doing the leapfrog situation that we always seem to do with UFC cards. You know, Covington versus Woodley card, better than any pay-per-view. Or up there with the best fight nights of the year, 100%. And then you've got 253 afterwards. And now you've got 255, which just seems to have been forgotten now. Unless we add some things to it real quick. And then 256 afterwards. It's just, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. But it's okay, because it's the UFC. So, sense will not be made. Like and subscribe. Click that button there. Goodbye. It should have been Moreno. And I wonder why it wasn't, to be honest with you. See you later.